So before I kick off this video, I just want to let you know that at the end I'm going to include a little something that might clear up some questions people have about this channel, some criticisms that I don't think people really understand what this is about, so I'm going to clear that up for some people at the end. So stick around for that. But anyway, let's get into it. The liberals constantly attack the right for being intolerant, and we assume generally that the liberals are the party of tolerance. And this is true to an extent, but it's simply in different ways. The Liberal Party can be just as intolerant as they claim the right is. It's important for us to realize these things. These little misconceptions I discuss are important because these are the things we need to be aware of so we don't let our personal bias change the way we view facts and reality. So let's dive into how the liberals can be a party of intolerance. The major way liberals are a party of intolerance is when it comes to speech, free speech. In colleges all across the United States, liberals are putting in place policies that prohibit, quote, offensive speech. Now, if offensive speech was things like racial slurs, derogatory comments that borderline on threats, or anything else like that, then it would make sense. But that's not what's happening. These colleges are putting in place policy where simply asking someone's nationality is classified as offensive. They are banning students from protesting, showing support for Donald Trump, or using gender-specific terms. When you start banning students from protesting, which is a right under the Constitution and the First Amendment, you are showing an intolerance to opinions that are opposite yours, no matter what that protest is for. Same goes for supporting Donald Trump. Why can't a student support Donald Trump? So long as the support for Donald Trump isn't done in a manner that attacks someone or another person, then there's no harm in that. College is supposed to be a place where people are exposed to different people, different ideas, different cultures, and different ways of thinking. By silencing the ones you disagree with, you're showing that you have no tolerance for different viewpoints other than yours. And this is why Trump kind of won the election, because the liberals are showing they can't handle being challenged, and they're so presumptuous that their opinion is right that they must silence all other opinions. Now, another way liberals are a party of intolerance is pretty similar to what I've been discussing. It's their inability to respect an opinion that differs from theirs without backlash and hate. Now, a character on the TV show Duck Dynasty a couple years ago voiced his stance on gay marriage. He said he believed marriage was only for a man and a woman. He essentially said that while personally doesn't believe in it, it's not okay to push his belief on others, and he wouldn't judge anyone who was gay because that's not okay. Now, the liberals came out and attacked him for this. They reacted as if he said we needed to arrest gays and hang them in the streets just because he respectfully disagreed. They boycotted his show and tried to get him kicked off the show. Now, regardless of your opinion on gay marriage, so long as somebody disagrees with you in a respectful way to where they don't push their belief on anyone and they don't judge anybody for doing what they don't believe in, that's okay. That's a fact. It is a fact that as long as you respectfully disagree with someone, that you shouldn't judge them for respectfully disagreeing. Now, I would like to point out, though, that this Duck Dynasty guy did say some much worse things about gays, but this was a while after the event that I'm referencing, so don't think I'm ignoring it. It just happened so far after what I'm talking about that I believe it's still valid for me to make this reference, because at the time, he only had that respectful disagreement, and he didn't say anything bad, and the liberals still attacked him for it. But don't think I forgot the fact that he has said some pretty horrible things after that. Now, another way the liberals aren't as tolerant is when it comes to race, which might surprise some of you because we generally view conservatives as a bit more racist than liberals. But that's not 100% true. The Liberal Party has an unfavorable opinion of black people almost equal to conservatives. The statistics show that among white liberals and Democrats, their views on the black community are almost equally as negative as whites within the Republican Party. Yet they constantly attack the right for being racist, even though it's a fact that statistically, liberal whites are literally almost as racist as conservative whites. Now, you might say attitude toward race doesn't mean racism, or doesn't mean racist, which could be a fair argument, but it's not my opinion that negative attitudes towards a certain race mean racism. That's a fact. If you have a negative viewpoint of a certain race, that's racism. Now, this may seem like I'm bashing liberals, and I'm doing exactly what I'm accusing them of, but that's not what this is. I'm sharing my opinion here. That's not what I'm doing, actually. I'm not sharing my opinion here. Everything I present are facts. I don't include my opinion to let bias try to sway you. I'm simply trying to show why liberals can be just as intolerant as the conservatives they accuse of being intolerant. It just relates to different issues. I'm not even here saying that their intolerance is good or bad. I'm just here to show you some things that you might not have considered. Obviously, not all liberals are this intolerant, but there's that general view that all liberals are all accepting. But there are many, many liberals who are not as tolerant as they like to act. And this is important to know in our world, where it's really easy to be blinded by loyalty to one side of the aisle. I present these things in a somewhat aggressive way because we all need to be challenged. We all have to have our beliefs challenged. So if you don't like being challenged or being forced to think from another point of view, then this channel isn't for you, because you obviously are so stuck in your beliefs that you just can't for a second try to look at something from the opposite way. And that's why I do it in a little bit more aggressive of a manner, because I want to try to force you to think from the other side of the aisle and kind of see what their thoughts are. But again, there are no opinions in here, so everything I'm presenting are facts. So try to keep that in mind. But if you don't like being challenged, then you probably shouldn't watch my videos, because I'm going to piss some of you off. And that's the point. We can't live in a bubble without considering our own hypocrisies. And the only way we can realize what our own hypocrisies are is by being challenged. We can't sugarcoat anything, or we're never going to realize our hypocrisies. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. Do you guys think that liberals are really more tolerant? Or do you think that the liberal intolerance of other points of view is actually a good thing? Discuss it and let me know down below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm the Poli Guy, and I'll hit you guys with another video soon.